Hello everyone, this is Ankur Nag. I am past life regression therapist and a mindfulness coach. I welcome you all to this series of healing process related to health. This is part 1 and we are going to cover it in a multiple part, one part every week. Why I call this series as healing process, because there is a difference between healing and a treatment. When you go to a doctor, you go for a treatment. Doctor looking at your symptoms prescribes some medicine which help you to cure. When you do a healing, you heal yourself from within or you cure yourself from within. So this is the healing process which you will experience through this series of health related healing. So I suggest you to take notes and keep a pen and paper, because when you take notes while listening to something, you actually increase your retention power by 40%. And if you are not doing it, it will remain only 4%, which means after 72 hours, you will lose all the content in the mind which you have stored after listening to it. I also suggest you to follow the series homework diligently to see the impact of the changes that has happened once you have completed the entire series, because it is a combination of cognitive hypnotherapy and the metaphysical ways of learning. So let's begin. Before we start, I want to introduce you to two vakyas, which is also called as statement. My master once told me that there are two kind of vakyas. One is the Brahm Vakya and the another one is the Shruti Vakya. Brahm Vakya is something that is directly downloaded from the universe, like Gayatri Mantra. Gayatri Mantra is directly downloaded by the Rishi Vishwamitra, and he is also known as the Brahm Rishi. So any syllable of this Brahma Gayatri Mantra cannot be changed no matter how much you spread it or how much it propagate. So it's here from many ages, but still there is no change in the Gayatri Mantra because it is directly downloaded from the universe to a Rishi. But on the other hand, the Shruti Vakya is something that is being heard by someone. For example, a master given some information or some knowledge to his disciple. But when this disciple propagate this information to somebody else, there might be loss in the information, or there might be addition or deletion in the information. So what I'm going to share with you all is a Shruti Vakya, but there is some wisdom attached to it. The question is how this wisdom or how this information is converted into wisdom. So there is a process into it. So when you have certain information, once this information is converted into the knowledge with learning or with some implementation of the knowledge, implementation of the information, that is used to convert into the knowledge. So once you have this knowledge, you can convert this knowledge into wisdom by understanding it more deeply. For example, yoga. How you do yoga is the information. You have many books, you might have many videos, you might have heard many times on the news that how yoga is is good for health. But once you implement it in your life on your own body, this information will convert into knowledge, because now you understand how to use this yoga to enhance your life, or enhance your health. But when you attain a very good meditative state with the help of this yoga techniques or yoga posture, you actually converted this knowledge into wisdom. So so I might be having a information that I'm going to share with you, but it is being converted into wisdom by me, because I have gone through a process of understanding it by by implementing it into my life. Now let's try to understand again uh, this concept little more deeply, because there are two words. Let's suppose you have information about, one is the worry and the another one is the care. Now what is the difference between these two words? To understand it, let's put into a mathematical formula. So worry is equal to care plus uncertainty, and this uncertainty most of the time is negative. For example, if a child haven't reached home, the mother is worried with the future prediction that is negative, that something wrong has happened to the child, like accident, or in worst case scenario, she is kidnapped. Now this mother needs to get rid of worry. How will this mother will get rid of worry? The only way to do that is remove this uncertainty from the care, and the care will become worry, or worry will become care. So simply understanding the two words can change the perspective and help to attain wisdom. So two words, just an information, but when you actually understood the meaning or literal meaning of this word, and you remove this negative production from your life or uncertainty from the life, you will convert these worry into care. Now let's try to understand it with the perspective of pain and sharing, suffering. So pain and suffering are two different words which are used very interchangeably. But there is a very thin line difference between these two words. Pain is a physical sensation that is happening in the body when we have something wrong with respect to the body. So if you hurt your finger with a knife, now there is a pain which tells you that there is something wrong into the body. Otherwise, if you don't have pain, you will never come to know that your finger or you have hurt yourself at some body part. But on the other hand, the suffering is derived with a belief, interpretation, and the judgment. So that is the reason some says that I am diagnosed with a disease, maybe cancer, and some say I am suffering from cancer. There is a difference between these two statements. Now, if a person is succumbed to these circumstances or to these diseases, for example, if a person is suffering from cancer or any other disease, and he succumbed to this pain that is having in his body, he is actually suffering. So if I put it to a mathematical formula, it also says that pain into resistance is equal to suffering, which means if you have resistance toward the pain and you are not accepting this pain, you will suffer more. So if the resistance is zero and anything that is multiplied with this zero, there will be a output of zero. So if you want to reduce your suffering, you have to reduce the resistance that is happening because of this pain. So if a person have a illness or sickness and he is not resisting this pain by saying that why me, and if we drop this why me and try to understand the concept of the pain, then there will be only pain, there will be no suffering. That is the reason it is said that pain is inevitable, but suffering is an option. So suffering is a choice. You can opt whether you want to suffer or you don't want to suffer. But pain is a natural body mechanism which cannot be changed, which have to be there when there is something wrong in the body. Now there is a homework for you. Identify at least 10 things that you are worried about in your life. You go to the definition of worry and the care and try to identify at least 10 things which you are normally, as a pattern in your life, are worried about. For example, if a person is worried that she or she is gaining weight, Now, the future prediction is that if he or she will keep gaining weight with this pace, there might be increase in the cholesterol. And if there is an increase in the cholesterol, it will actually going to impact the heart, and there will be a heart problem. So there is a worriness with the increase in the weight. So these are the few things or example you can take which make you worry all the time. In the another homework, you will try to identify at least 5 situations where you are suffering. So you go to the definition of pain and suffering and try to understand it. Where are the things where actually you have pain, but because of this pain, you have increased your resistance toward this pain, and that is the reason this pain is now seems to be suffering. So once you will complete this homework, in the next part 2, I'm going to I'm going to tell you that what you need to do with this homework that you have done in the part 1. And please write it on a piece of paper. Don't write it in a journal or in a diary, because I'm going to tell something what to do with this paper on which you have written these 2 homework. If you want to raise some question so that I can cover it in the part 2, please you can go you can email me at angelizeyourself@gmail.com. So see you in the next part 2, with more knowledge and wisdom. Thank you so much.